And looks like we are underway, and it is near the coast item spot. Medium secrets can range from 25 rupees to 40. It looks very close to start, and White Sword is actually out on the coast, so both runners may be visiting there if they can find the ladder quickly in one of the dungeons. Yep, there are definitely a lot of races going on tonight. I believe there were at least 10 for the Pentaforce tournament, and there was also a Battle Royale race going tonight, so lots and lots of Zelda 1 action. And luckily for both runners, there is a take any one or bonus cave, depending on what you want to call it, pretty close to start, so most of the time these runners will go ahead and decide to pick up the candle. Occasionally, if they find the Armos item first and it's the red candle, then that may change your decision, but usually the wise play to get the blue candle from that shop. And it looks like the community hint right now is going to be Lizzie warned me about you. Throwing it back to Lizzie, whose favorite item is the book, one of our longtime community members. So I anticipate both runners will not really dive too deep into dungeons until they find the wood sword. The rules on the wood sword dropping is that it has to be in one of, I believe, 26 open caves that are around Hyrule. And it looks like Vanivan went from around 13 rupees to 143. That leads me to believe that the large secret's around 130. The bombs are 17. Meanwhile, in the letter shop on the northeast, just along the coast, we find the wood sword. So ToastyMuffins is going to have an early advantage being able to kill enemies with more than just a single fire of the candle. Unfortunately, that screen wasn't too nice to him up there in the northeast, so if he wants to explore some of the other spots up there, he'll have to come back. And level 2, I believe, is what we saw at Monaco Rock. And Vanivan finds some more good information. You always want to find the arrow shop in case you don't find silvers. What you don't want to find is red octoroks that guard the way to the wood sword in this seed. This is going to be one of those seeds where the boomerang's actually going to be quite helpful. They have that nasty looking screen just off the starting screen with Lionels everywhere. The sooner you can whittle down those Lionels, the less you'll need a boomerang to stun them, but the boomerang stun is quite underrated on a screen like that, for sure. And Vanivan visits the Armos in the Lost Hills and finds a weapon that's a slight upgrade in a lot of situations to the wood sword. That's the wand. While the wand cannot damage some enemies, such as Wizrobes, it is going to be quite useful in fighting against Darknuts, Moblins, Lionels, just about everything else. Yeah, I believe Toasty is not playing with music, but his sound effects should be on, so we can go with whatever is best in the viewer's mindset. Yeah, I think we'll stick to the music for now, but if Vani's stream cuts completely out again, we can switch it back all the time, so. Since Vani's in level 2, let's talk about that one. It's a little bit different than Dungeons 3 through 9, in the sense that it has a floor drop item as opposed to a staircase item. That trait is shared in level 1 with one of the two drops in level 1. Yeah, it looks like ToastyMuffins is taking advantage of the gambling game there, money-making game. Comes out ahead, though not all that much ahead. Yeah, it looks like Vani's offline, so we'll switch it back again. ToastyMuffins is more than likely to be looking for the level 2 that Vani found. He might also be looking for levels 1 through 4 and level 8. Those dungeons are either small in size, or in level 8's case, it has 2 items as opposed to 1. And that second item kind of lures runners in there. Additionally, by opening a lot of overworld caves, ToastyMuffins will have a chance to find the white sword item, which is still hidden. And it looks like Vani is back now. We don't know just yet whether or not he picked up the item in level 2, but given that he's not going straight back to the Triforce, my assumption would be that he has not found it yet. Meanwhile, ToastyMuffins also opens up Monaco Rock and finds his way into level 2. Looks like Vonnie Von is going to opt out of level 2 for now. See if that decision pays off for him, or if an important item ends up being a level 2. And at roughly the 10-minute mark, I would basically say both runners are in the same position again. Neither seems to have a decisive advantage now that they both have the wood sword and the wand. Based on what we've seen from both runners, it looks like level 2 is going to be the only major dungeon up here in the northeastern quadrant of Hyrule, with the exception of perhaps the power bracelet spot, which they won't be able to check until they have that. Somewhere along the way, ToastyMuffins picked up the ladder. Was that in level 2? Well, regardless of where he found it, he's going to be super happy to have that. It's going to allow him to traverse all of the water that he finds in Hyrule, with the exception of the 2 raft spots. And judging by his tracker, it looks like it was in level 2, so if Bonnie didn't happen to find his way to that item, he'll be behind. Yep, I do anticipate that ToastyMuffins will be going back to the Coast Item spot to pick up that white sword. It can be a decisive advantage when it comes to combat. Takes you and puts you in a position where instead of hitting Ganon 15 times, you only have to hit him 7 or 8, depending on what he rolled. Similarly, it'll knock Dark Nuts, Wiz Robes, and everything else out there in half. So, always a good thing to go get. Looks like ToastyMuffins, however, will go ahead and opt to continue digging. May just want to go back whenever he happens upon a death or decides that he can't go any further in the direction that he's going. So maybe with the way he's going now would be Eastern Death Mountain. If he got all the way up to the open cave on Death Mountain, maybe he'd turn around then. And the wand certainly takes some of the bite out of the white sword because, again, against most enemies, that'll do more than enough damage to take care of most of the issues that you might find out there. It looked like, well, Bonnie's certainly level 8. I almost want to say I saw a boomerang. So perhaps the regular boomerang, or as some people like to refer to it as Lord Banana, is in level 8. And this is kind of where some of the white sword combat's going to pay off here at level 8. In this specific dungeon, he's going to be able to whack with both the white sword and the wand, doing 4 damage to the Pole's voice every time he hits them with both, as opposed to 3 damage that Bonnie would be able to pull off. And Toasty almost turned down the boomerang, but decided, you know what? I remember those Lionels. I don't like those Lionels. So he'll be able to stun his way out of that passageway later if he has to go back through there a couple more times. Not a bad play. And that's quite the fortunate fairy draw for ToastyMuffins. That's going to allow him the opportunity to kind of sneak into this room and take care of the land mullas without having to be too concerned about death on the first hit that he takes. He does manage to get out of the door initially. The strategy you want to play with here is the land mullas react to whenever your character model changes direction. So if by chance you go left to right in the doorway without exiting the doorway, you can force them to do different patterns, and that can assist you in getting through the room without taking too much damage. Looks like the troll dongos did guard something. What did the dongo guard today? Well, they guard an upgrade to the blue candle. I don't blame Vani for picking that up either. That's a useful item when you fight likes in dungeons, as they will tend to straight line towards you. Another enemy it's quite useful against is Gibdos, which, while not so straight line their approach to trying to attack you, straight enough. It looks like both runners tried to utilize the same exact strategy where they used the bomb on the Dodongo right next to the top wall. If the top wall can open up, which it did, then you've basically not only gotten rid of one of the Dodongos to open the staircase, but you've also utilized your bomb to open up a wall. So, with the exception of the ladder out of two, it looks like both runners are once again level pegging. It's going to be interesting to see how much of a difference that ladder is going to make as the sea progresses. You would kind of expect ToastyMuffins, even if the ladder's not required for a seed, to slowly gain ground or pass Vani, given the combat advantage that he has. The major thing to note right now is that Vani's been able to dig some of these dungeons, and he's found lots of keys. Whereas Toasty is working on just a little bit less of a key count. He's only at 3. Whereas Vani's probably somewhere still close to 7 when his stream comes back up. Yeah, it looks like Vani's going through a warp zone there or something. He's got himself frozen on a kind of interesting screen. Wonder where the Triforce here is level 8. Looks like both runners have been digging it for some time. And the answer is down on the bottom section of the dungeon. So, another key door required to get to the Triforce. And Toasty's looking for a way around these dark nuts to just get through the door, probably. Nope, he's going to try and tackle them. I mean, they don't have the most HP, but Neither does he. And I would certainly not want to walk back. Well, we still don't have much audio yet on Vonnie's side, or much video rather, but we did have an audio. Sounds like he's having to fight his way through the Dodongo room to see if he can't find his way to the Triforce piece as well. And it looks like we are going to switch back to ToastyMuffins sound for now until that gets situated. What's also interesting about this seed right now is that both runners, or both Bonnie and Toasty, have a candle and have access to hint shops, one being close to the start, which is one screen off the coast in the forest, not too far from there. And another hint shop is in the forest closer to the middle of the Hyrule area, just below the desert. So what that means is if they find the book, they can use the save strategy. If you save with a lot of rupees and you go collect the hints, you can opt to retry as opposed to continue on your quest. If you do that, then your rupees come back, but the knowledge you gain stays. And that's what I would consider if I were one of these runners and I happened upon the book at some point soon. I dare say ToastyMuffins, however, is going to run out of these door repair charges. He's already hit probably 5 or 6 of them. So there's only, I believe, 9 or 10 door repairs in all of Hyrule. Toasty has found level 6 and may have an item staircase right off the bat. And for him, that's a great pickup. Vonnie, before his stream left us, had 7 keys. Toasty only had 2 until just now. So the major advantage, assuming that Vonnie has just made it out of level 8 as he was looking for the Triforce, is that Toasty dug the ladder out of 2, Vonnie dug the Triforce out of 2. The ladder opened up the white sword, which is on the coast. And it could potentially open up Triforce pieces or part of level 6, as you see here. The problem is even if it opened up his ability to cross the Chevy, he's still got to deal with the Goma. And he doesn't have the bow and arrows needed to kill that off, so he'll have to find a time in which the Goma leaves him alone long enough to cross. It also saves him from taking damage in that room. That circle moat in 6 with traps is just painful. This transport, however, may get him past that block, and it does. So that's a good thing to find. Very rarely does the staircase in 6 actually do you any good. I find a lot of times it actually just takes you 1 or 2 rooms away. Yep, this is one of those seeds where all the offensive upgrades were easy to come by. The large secret is also in and around 130 rupees, so they're going to have a chance to potentially buy the blue ring, especially if both runners find the any key, because that'll take buying keys out of the equation. And the hint says nothing of importance again, just blocks one potential way into the room above. At some point, some of these old men are probably going to get some wand blasts or some sword wax or something along those lines. Well, unless, of course, they find the book. So just as a brief rundown of what the runners have found, 2 is at Monocle Rock. The runners started close to the coast item, so they basically started one screen over where the flute spot would be in Second Quest Overworld. Speaking of the flute, Vonnie's found level 5. No idea where that's at yet, but he's found it. Level 6 was closer towards Vanilla's start, and 8 would be on the coast, on the southern coast. So since he's back, I'm going to make an assumption here that he may have found his Triforce in 8 before leaving there. Meanwhile, ToastyMuffins is under the assumption that the Triforce is going to be here. I didn't see if he picked up the compass or not, but seeing as he backtracked towards where the staircase led out, I'm assuming that's it. But the forehead Gliok says no. And I don't blame him for deciding to leave. You know where level 6 is now. You know where potentially the Triforce piece could be. Why not go pick up some more equipment and come back later when you can clear him much quicker, rather than walking all the way through the dungeon just for a chance at it? Meanwhile, Vonnie's picked up Triforce piece out of 5. He somehow managed to find 5 all the way in the dead end of the Dead Woods, all the way across the map. I wonder if that Triforce in 8 was potentially ladder blocked or if he just gave up on it. Don't quite recall the room that it was in. And he must have gone back to 2 as well. Wow. He was quite busy when he went down on stream. So I would dare say, given that knowledge, that both runners are again right back to where they started, which is in the same exact kind of playing field where either runner could still win this race. And they high five as they find level 1, just a screen away where it's still considered Dead Woods, but you kind of have the green outline. So just above level 3 in a potion shop in vanilla. And Blue Lamel in that room's not exactly the nicest setup. Unfortunately, the shutter door being on one side can potentially make it more difficult for you to get through there. You only have one door to play with, and you can't actually combat out of it, so you just have to use it to hope they go away. And it looks like level 1 was indeed ladder blocked for the most part. You can't get past this right side moat without it. Vonnie opts to exit that room in a hurry. He's looking for an easier room to go clear. Meanwhile, Toasty's going to try and see if there's something in that room. And it looks like ToastyMuffins is going to clean up these Poles voices. Unfortunately, that push block is just going to open the shutter door potentially. However, the raft does drop in that room. That's a useful item potentially. If level 9 or one of the other important dungeons that he needs to find important items is located on a raft spot. In the bottom right, we have more Landmola guarding the left side door, which makes it really hard to fight them. That's just, again, not what you want to see. You want to see a room, even the room before that. I'd rather be fighting Dark Nuts and Pole's voices than fighting Landmolas in my own fire. And unfortunately, ToastyMuffins takes a death there. Looks like the second item is in the top side of level 1, though. Vonnie seems to be close to homing in on that item. I'm hopeful to see what it is. I bet you Toasty's wishing he had found the blue ring shop already, because these traps and Landmola and Dark Nuts and just everything in this dungeon is all sorts of not fun for him. Alright, just do a little catch-up work on Bonnie's side since I've got a chance to see what he had. He does, in fact, have the Triforce out of 6. And he does, in fact, have the raft already. Yep, we're not sure what was in that staircase at the moment, but if it's nothing major, both runners are basically in a dead heat with one another. The one thing we haven't seen yet, besides the important items we need, we haven't found 9. depending on what kind of individual you may or may not be, you're either hoping for a push block or a power bracelet spot in the overworld to guard level 9, and that power bracelet being stuck somewhere deep in level 7. Or you're hoping it's open and it has like the bow and the ladder or something that or bow and silvers, excuse me, that the runners can grab while they're in there and just go mode. Me personally, looking for a little bit of both. Need the seed to be a little bit difficult, but not too crazy difficult for the two runners. Looks like Toasty opted to up an A back to start, and now he's got this Lionel screen to deal with again, potentially. So the question is, where's Toasty going to go next? To the blue ring shop. Makes perfect sense to me. I 100% agree with this play. You don't have the book yet, so you don't have any need to save money for the hints. You're not going to have to buy keys the rest of the way. You might as well take advantage of the chance to reduce the potential for death on your side. So with full health and reduced damage from the overworld enemies, where do you suppose Toasty's going to go next? And he's got full bombs now. Perfect. And ToastyMuffins is up to 8 hearts now. He's 2 away from the minimum required for Magical Sword, also known as Mags in the community. If he's able to pick that sword up at, say, 10 hearts, his combat will again double from White Sword damage. So it'll be 4 damage as opposed to 1 on the Wood Sword or 2 on White Sword. The blue potion prices are not too bad either. So he's could potentially opt, once he finds another secret of some sort, to go pick that up and get a red potion that way. 2 blues do equal a red, after all, in this game, so always good to go ahead and grab 2 if the price difference is crazy like that. But instead, he's got a chance to dig level 3 and hope for bow or silvers to be in here. He's really looking for an item that can push him towards level 9 faster. Looks like the diamond staircase is guarded by a Wizrobe, so now that blue ring purchase is paying off even more, especially if he can execute a block clip. And he does. And that's the silver arrows. So Vonnie might be in trouble if he doesn't blue ring or get a little bit of RNG luck with the blue Wizrobe pattern if he finds level 3. So it's basically a Triforce and Go out of level 3 for ToastyMuffins. It will put him one away from being able to enter level 9 once he finds it. Well, Vonnie could come back in level 9, but it's probably dependent on which dungeons he finds and if they have an early Triforce. We don't have an inkling of the bow location, unfortunately, unless it was in that staircase in 1 that Vonnie tried to go into. And will he get the Dodongo to cooperate with him, or will he sit there and struggle? Finally got him, but he didn't have what we were looking for, which was the Triforce. Apparently the second item was the Bloomerang at level 1, so with that I can give you a bit of an item rundown. Level 1 had Raft and Bloomerang, or Blue Boomerang. Level 2 had the ladder. Level 3 had the silvers. We don't have an item or a location for level 4. Level 5 had the recorder. Level 6 had the any key or magic key. I don't recall seeing level 7 out there. Level 8 has the regular boomerang and the red candle, and we haven't found level 9 yet, as ToastyMuffins gets his Triforce piece out of level 3. And we finally have Vonnie back, and he is fighting that blue Wizrobe's diamond staircase in level 3. So he may be able to sneak in there at some point here in the near future, and if he does, he'll be plenty happy with what he sees. So here is the situation. Let's go ahead and update you on what happened to Vonnie. He got the Triforce piece out of 1. He found the white sword shop, which had the book. He picked the book up, has a hint for level 7. Level 7 has the bow. So that's the big play on Vonnie's side. If he's able to get these silvers out of level 3, he'll be looking for level 7 so he can find his bow. And he's done it. So Toasty and Vonnie both have silver arrows at this point. Yeah, I would dig 3 for the Triforce piece because you don't know where it's at 7. 7 has 33 rooms in comparison to level 3, which is much smaller. Fortunately for Toasty, he has found level 7, and he is going in, so he doesn't know it, but we know it to be the right play. So will ToastyMuffins find the staircase with the bow? Not yet. Will that meat block be relevant? We don't know yet. Some seeds have come down to guinea farming, but we certainly won't see him farming that room. That's got a lot of blue wizrobes in it. So Vani has enough Triforce pieces now to enter level 9. However, he's armed with the book. He knows level 7's important to find because he can't finish the game without it. We'll see if we have Bonnie in good enough shape to where we can go back to this audio for now. Yes, Bonnie has the hint. ToastyMuffins does not have the hint, but he's in the right dungeon. And based on his current location, he has already made it around the meat block, so that's always good. Or maybe he used it. Wasn't quite paying attention. And he's giving Link the stare down just a little bit, saying, "Why are you in my way? I want to go up without having to fight this room." Yep, Toasty has music off, but his sound was more usable than Vani's when his stream was struggling a little bit, so. We still have ToastyMuffins digging through level 7 looking for the bow. Or a Triforce piece. What will he find? That's really... I mean, I keep repeating myself, but that's really the big play of this seed. What will he do? And we're going to continue finding push block rooms, potentially. Will this one be a push block? It is. Does it have the bow? It does not. And this is not a fun room, not because the enemies do a ton of damage to you, but because the boomerangs, they can fire it basically without any sort of setup, and you have to be ready for them to fly at any time. If you're not, you're taking that half heart or the full heart, depending on what kind of defense you have. Oh, he's going to be hopeful to bomb out of this room. He does not want to fight these blue wizrobes. Yes, it will bomb to the right. And he's in another room with a shutter door on one side and a manhandle in his way. Yeah, it looks like he got stretched when he disconnected. I'm going to see if I can't find a way to fix that real quick. Was that what no. Unfortunately for ToastyMuffins, not able to get through that room in 7. I want to see how much of this he has cleared. He still has quite a few rooms left. Will he continue? No, opting out. So it's going to come down to where that book is, guys. Where's that white sword going to be? The white sword shop is the play. It'll have the book. It'll have the ability to buy the hints from that screen you just saw on ToastyMuffin's side. We don't know where the white sword shop location is because it was found by Vani and he found it when his stream was kind of going wonky on us. So the next time I have the ability to look at his tracker, I'll take a peek at it. Bonnie did not have the white sword shop labeled on his screen, so it's something I'm unable to tell you right now. And he's back. And he's in level 7, so he's where he needs to be. Kind of looking around on where he searched on his side in his overworld exploration, it looks like the white sword item is either going to be Recorder Lake or somewhere in the Dead Woods that perhaps Toasty missed, or even perhaps over close to the waterfall. Yeah, but if ToastyMuffins doesn't go back to level 7 and find the bow, Vondi's going to have a significant lead on him just because he's going to have all that extra time to dig level 9 before Toasty has a shot at it. And there we are, level 7's bow. He doesn't need the Triforce, it's going to be a quick up and A, and now the question is where is level 9? And we see Toasty again going in for the blue potion, which is quite cheap in this seed. 2 of them is well under the red potion price. I guess we're going to have to ask future Vonnie where the White Sword shop was for this seed so we know where exactly he picked up his book. Because right now there's really no other way to know. I'm actually quite concerned that it's Recorder Lake, because just based on where he tracked, either that or it's up here. Maybe up by the Armos up here? No. So the only place that Vonnie has looked on his tracker that ToastyMuffins is not, as far as I can tell, is Recorder Lake. And Toasty doesn't have it. The one big plus for Toasty is he doesn't know where a whole lot of other dungeons are at. He only knows where 6 and 7 are at right now, to my knowledge. Oh, here are some spots that Toasty didn't burn. What's in here? The book. Big play if he goes back to the hint shop. Will he save? Not yet. The more time he spends searching and the less time he spends upping an A and saving to go look at those hints, the more difficult it's going to be for him to come back on Vonnie, assuming Vonnie has found level 9. And at 10 hearts, the magical sword, excuse me, is too heavy still. So he's going to have to go into level 5 and maybe find the recorder and heart container on the floor here before trying again. In chat, they say the worst thing that could happen right now for Toasty is finding a dungeon. Normally that is the case, but he doesn't know where level 9 is. And May the Bombs Be in Your Favor gives 2 bombs. So he got cheated out of some bombs there. And in one of those rare situations, both bomb upgrades are actually in level 5. That's not usually something that you'll see because of the amount of old men that are in that dungeon. And both runners now have the recorder, which, unless level 9 is there, is not going to be particularly useful. And since Toasty knows that 79 rupees is only going to have 2 bombs, he nopes and says, I will not be spending any more money on those. Any ideas on the power bracelet? It can be in level 4 or level 9, and that is it. We know every other item in every other dungeon. Level 1 having the rafted blue boomerang. Level 2 having the ladder. Level 3 having the silvers. Level 5 having the flute. Level 6 having the magic boomerang. Level 7 having the bow. Level 8 having the boomerang and red candle. Book. was the white sword item. Wand was the Armos item. And out on the coast, I decided to label it as a ladder. That's not right, it's the white sword. So do we have a dungeon underneath Recorder Lake, or are we potentially power bracelet blocked? We may never know. And here's our answer to that question. Thankfully for Toasty, it's not level 9, because he probably would have gone in and been fairly disappointed with what he found. So level 7 is in the bomb spot in the graveyard. Level 9 is still up for grabs. We don't have any idea where it's at. One of level 4 or level 9 cannot be power bracelet blocked. There is level 9. That is not what ToastyMuffins wanted to find, but he doesn't know it yet. What he's going to be looking for are the 2 staircases that lead to items. Furthermore, he can get hints and locations for, I believe it's going to be the old woman merchant that he's going to rescue in this case. Or the pig. Question in chat, where is Vonnie? He is somewhere in the future. He's disconnected entirely from IRC and from stream, so it looks like he is full on disconnected this time. Good news for ToastyMuffins is Gibdos are in level 9. That'll give him some opportunities to refresh his bombs. And it's not oh no, it's oh shoot that you mean there in chat. Thankfully, he can exit on the other side of the shoot room and continue his progression through level 9. Doesn't have to turn around yet. You know, it's tough as a runner when you have the Triforces to go into level 9. Do you dig 9 or don't you? In his case, I think he has it down to 4 or 5 items. But with the hint shop so close to start, I do think that that would have been the correct play in this circumstance. And Patra in a shutter room. What does that mean? Does that mean that that door will open, or is that going to be the location of what usually is Zelda? And it's opened. And if Toasty didn't have the amount of rupees that he has now, be a little bit easier to say, well, he's making the absolute right call. There's no way for him to actually get all the hints. But he does have enough to get through the hint shop in one go. And then go get to the other hint shop and grab all those as well. I feel like if Vonnie wins this over ToastyMuffins, we'll have to look at that as the big play that was made on one side that was unfortunately not made on the other. However, there's always the chance that Toasty could find an item in this staircase and then find the second item really quickly and know he's got to dig somewhere else. In that case, you'd pretty much narrow it down to either level 4, which might have to be push block, or a power bracelet blocked. That power bracelet could be a 9. Level 6, he has the item at level 6, he has the item at level 5. No, it's just 4 and 7, actually. He's only got 2 items that he doesn't know outside of 9, so it's 50-50. The longer you go in level 9, too, without your opponent finishing, the more you tend to believe that, hey, it might be Power Bracelet required at level 9 to go find level 4 to find the bow that I need to complete the seed. And Vonnie is back. He is in level 9. And that's about all I can tell you. I don't know if that's a red ring on him or if he just has potions. Well, isn't that vanilla? Patra guards the compass. And Ganon's room is one above. Wow. So now we're looking at a situation where Vonnie just has to hit him 7 or 8 times. And if he manages to pull it off, he'll just have to find Zelda. And we're to the point now where Link's going to get stabbed for that hint. And Vonnie correctly uses his potion. That Silver's hint, not the most useful. But he may have looked at that Silver's hint and said, wait a minute, I don't have Silvers. Don't know if that's what he's, but that forced him to go buy hints, and he's now going to know, potentially, if this is the hint shop that had the hints, that the bow is actually in 7. Not the first 2. What about the third? No, that was not the correct hint shop. So it was the other one in the forest to the west of here. And he does not have the money to buy them. I don't think... Did he save or did he just continue? If he continued, he's not going to have the money. I believe that's the hint shop right there. Well, if he didn't save and he retries, he's going to retry out of everything that he hasn't saved yet. And we do not have any done yet in IRC, so Vonnie is still playing. He has not found Zelda yet. So the best we can hope for on ToastyMuffin's side is that Zelda is in some sort of magical staircase situation. And what a magical staircase is in level 9 is it is a situation in which there are no doors, no bomb holes, no shutter doors that lock you out of Zelda's area. It's simply a staircase and a staircase only that gets you there. Yep, he's looking around for some solutions to this puzzle. Where can he go in level 9? There's no direct route west from those two rooms. Can he go west in this room? Yes. Is Von dead? The answer, probably not. He had a potion. Not sure if he's going to come back alive on stream here shortly, or if it's going to take him a few minutes to get his internet to cooperate. The best I can tell you is he is not done, so he is not through with his quest to find Zelda. ToastyMuffins is doing pretty well for himself to be hanging on with this little life. Got the fairy drop as well in the Chevy room, so will he opt to bomb up north or to the west? North opens, west does not, so he'll have to go up and see what's up here. The question in chat, will his internet let him dot done? The answer right now is no. He's completely disconnected again. So we're going to have to hope that he can reconnect to dot done before ToastyMuffins finds his solution for this seed. And Von gets back into IRC. He types dot done. Von has finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1:16:08. Not entirely shocking based on the fact that we knew the last time he disconnected that he had Ganon down and was simply looking for Zelda, but always fun when you get the surprise screen. Going to see if he wants to come in for an interview. He may opt not to based on the fact that he can't stay connected all that well, but in the meantime, he disconnects. Well, while we are waiting for that answer and watching ToastyMuffins finish, tomorrow's going to have just as many Zelda 1 Randomizer Force tournament races as today did, basically. Looks like there are at least 6 on schedule for now, and potentially another 7, another 1 or 2 that have yet to be scheduled. So could have up to 8 tomorrow. So if you want to look for some races tomorrow, majority of our races for this tournament will be found on Speed Gaming and Randomania. For Speed Gaming, it's quite simple. You can either follow their channels. They have 6 of them. Speed Gaming regular through 6. Or you can take a look at the schedule down below. Each channel has the schedule listed there, and you can find which rooms the races are planned to be on as well. Randomania has the same feature, so if you drop them and Speed Gaming both a follow, you can tune in to both or just continue keeping a lookout for the schedule. I'd like to thank Speed Gaming for hosting this race tonight. It's a very entertaining race despite some of the technical difficulties that we had on one side. And we are going to continue to root on ToastyMuffins, hoping that he finds both items out of 9 here sometime soon. Either that, or maybe he'll find enough rupees to go back out to the hint shop. One of those two decisions will allow him to navigate his way to level 7 at some point in time down the road. I heard a ping in Discord. Is that a Bonnie Von?
Yes, it is. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yep. We can hear you.
Okay, great.
We can.
Okay.
So, you're going to have to talk us through quite a bit of this seed because we only got to see a couple of bits and pieces.
Yeah.
However,
okay, go ahead.
I will say this. Your finding of the book, and I guess choosing the second hint shot further away from the starting screen, was probably what got you to first place in this seed.
Okay. So let's talk about the issues that I had. First of all, is Toasty done?
Toasty is in level 9 without the bow.
Without the oh boy. Okay. Let's just get this out of the way. I've been having issues with my internet really badly, obviously. This has been going on for quite some time now. It actually was affecting me during my race last week as well, but this was worse. It was so bad that I couldn't even connect to SRL to type .done. My timer, I finished it at 1:11. It took me 5 minutes to .done. So yeah. So I apologize for all of those issues. My ISP is going to be getting an earful tomorrow morning. I can believe you me. But yeah, so that was so anyway. So that's what was going on there. As far as what you were talking about with the book and all that stuff, as soon as I found that, um, I knew where both of the hint shops were. So I went ahead and saved, and I had that's right. That's what happened. I got the book, but I was full on rupees. I was gonna buy the blue ring. I knew where that shop was, but then I was like, okay, let me go ahead and check the hints. The first hint shop was either duds or stuff I already knew. But then when it told me about Guria grumbling with the bow, I was just like, oh, thank you, goodness. But then I was like, oh, I don't know where level 7 is. So in my search for 7, I stumbled across level 3. And at that point, I knew I had knowledge of all items but 3. The 3 I didn't know about were Red Ring, the Power Bracelet, and Silvers. And so I don't know, has Toasty gotten Silvers already?
Toasty has silvers. He has the red ring out of 9.
Okay.
And
so,
he had what he did, and probably what changed the outcome of this race the most, was he left level 9. He was in there for a little while. He got the silvers hint, which made him back out. I don't know if he misread that or if he just decided, you know what, I have money. He continued instead of saving. So he only had enough money to get through the first of the hint shops. He never got through the second.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
We were hoping in his case to make it a good race because we knew you were in 9 with the bow and just looking for her. We were hoping that the first hint shop would actually have the hint for level 7 having the bow, because he searched through 20-ish rooms, I would say, of level 7 before dying and leaving.
Oh.
If he had found the staircase in there by chance, I think he would have been ahead of you into 9 barely. But it's hard to say because, again, we had bits and pieces of you, and
Yeah.
I think we had you at 5 Triforces when you were looking for 7, but we didn't know if you had found it until it came back and you had just found the bow.
Yeah, I picked up Triforces from 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So by the time I found 3 and I got the silvers, and that's where I got my 5th Triforce. I was like, all right. At that point, I was like, not only do I need to find 7, I need to find 9. I hadn't found that yet either. So found 9 and then found, I believe that's the order I found them in. Where were they? Hold on, I'm going to my tracker. Oh yeah, 7 was in Vanilla 6. So I was going from right to left across Death Mountain, and then I did a dip down to the graveyard, found 7 at 6, and knew I was going to have to dig my way through to get the bow. You know, if you're going to have to dig 7, it's nice to already know that it has something you need, as opposed to taking a shot in the dark. I can definitely tell you that. So, so once I had that, it was just a matter of clearing out 9. I must have cleared out, I don't know how much you saw of what I did in 9. I must have cleared out the entire right third of 9 before getting all the way up to the top, bombing left over a couple, and then once I found Zelda, I just like, all right, time to start taking staircases. The first staircase I took me all the way to the southwestern corner of 9. I went up like 4 rooms, and Ganon was right there. Ganon at least played nice as far as, at least when I started to decide to take stairs. And then, so the other nice thing was getting from Ganon back to Zelda was very quick. But I don't now. Did you guys get to see me kill Ganon?
Yep, your stream survived from the point that you saw that Patrick guards the compass.
Okay.
Until I believe I want to say you went up or to the right of Ganon, and then stream basically hit the fritz again.
Yeah, so when I was walking back to the magic staircase, that's when I looked back over and saw that my stream was live again. And that meant, oh, good, I have internet. So as I'm walking down, I'm connecting to IRC. As I'm walking into the room above Zelda, it drops out again. And I'm just like, oh, crap. So, so anyway, so I go in, I rescue Zelda, and I stop my timer. Then I pick up my phone, turn off my Wi-Fi, and try to jump onto SRL and connect that way. And it's saying, "Oh, that nickname's already in use." So I'm just like, "Great!" I basically just have to sit here and just wait for enough internet to come back for me to just dot done, and that's it. And I didn't get to dot done until about 5 minutes after I actually finished.
And Heartbreak City for ToastyMuffins has now found the Power Bracelet 9, which is
Yeah,
right above Zelda's room. Only
correct.
one way into it.
Well, and I remember that too. That's right. As soon as I found Zelda, that's right. There was a staircase in that room, and I was like, "All right, let's start going staircases." And then as soon as I opened it up, I saw the power bracelet. I was like, "This is honestly the last thing that I wanted to see right here." So,
Oh, he found 4 in a Eastern Death Mountain too, so
yeah,
I
I
think the hint shop that he visited gave him heart container
yeah.
hint.
I found 4, and at that point, I was like, I knew it was a heart container. It was a heart container. I got that in. I took one look at 4 and just said, "Bye. Don't need this. Don't need Triforces. Definitely don't." And I don't know if you saw this. I checked mags at 10 heart containers. I was not able to get it, so it was at least 11. But mags was all the way down in the southwestern corner in the dead woods. So I did kind of take a detour to check that on a 20% chance, which probably wasn't the wisest thing to do. But at that point, suffice it to say that I was kind of on tilt, generally speaking. So I just decided to go for it anyway. So, yeah, this seed wasn't all that bad. Getting the magical wand from the Armos item in the very beginning was great. And then I had already found a pick any cave and took the candle. So by the time I got to the wood sword, I was like, I don't need either of these things. What the heck? I mean, I took the wood sword anyway, just in case I came across like whiz robes or something like that. But yeah, getting the rod fairly early from the Armos was definitely very generous. So, and then finding the step ladder in 2 was awesome. That really opened things up.
Yeah. Have a little bit of chatter in the chat room here asking how your name is pronounced and Glitchless trying to encourage us to pronounce it Van, but I believe it's Von, correct?
Yeah, that would be my friend Glitchless trolling all of you. It is indeed Von. Ask Antlers, he knows. Um, but yeah, it is Von. It is, all right, I'll tell the story. I did it after my first race too, but it applies. So everybody mispronounced it. They always pronounce it Danny Van, and I've gotten so used to it that it's actually become part of my gimmick. Like my Discord server is the party van. When people give me a follow, I say welcome aboard the van. I have my alert is Mick Foley, the motivational speaker from the Saturday Night Live skit, and he talks about living in a van down by the river. So I've basically embraced the mispronunciation as much as I can, and so yeah, that's what that's all about. But it is indeed Bonnie Von, if we're being proper. I actually have an image that I put on my stream of correction guy saying that it's pronounced Bonnie Von. So
Yep.
yeah.
We did get a
So
few future Vonnie references in as well when it
oh
got
yeah, so
disconnecting.
so Future Vonnie is a reference to my first race where I was doing a whole bunch of I was making a bunch of rookie mistakes, and so a lot of people in chat were saying, "Oh, when Future Vonnie," assuming that I would go back and watch the VOD of my race, that quote unquote Future Vonnie would see this and know what they're talking about, as in me seeing all of what they're saying in the future. So that's what that's all about. I'm sure that's Shaddy and all them perpetuating the whole future Vonnie thing.
No, admittingly, it was pretty much me and then a couple of giggles. But sometimes you gotta kill a little bit of dead air time. So
yeah, I
it
know,
happens.
and again, big props to you because I know you're commentating by yourself, and I basically gave you nothing to work with. So for you to power through that by yourself is you deserve much praise for that. I appreciate your efforts for this commentary.
Yeah, it wasn't so much the commentary. It was kind of just, what do I track on your side? Do you have this? Do you have that? So just kind of peeking, hoping that I could see stuff as you brought up.
Well,
Toasty Muffins, though, has
yeah.
redove level 7. Let's not forget about him in all this.
Oh yes,
He
of
is
course.
going back in, and he is, I think, guaranteed to know that it's in 7 because he's seen all the other items.
Yes. So I
And
don't
he
know if
bombed.
oh,
He bombed into a staircase, and he found it instantly.
nice.
So
Nice.
that's 2 rooms in. That's a shame.
Yeah, I remember finding the bow pretty quickly too, and as soon as I did that, I couldn't up A fast enough. I was like,
And
there's no point in going through the rest of 7.
IRC pops up with, "Oh, that bow spot laughed my butt off." So now he has an inkling of what happened in this seed to him, but thankfully with Red Ring, with White Sword, 12 hearts, I believe he still has 1 potion left. He's going to
Yeah.
be finishing level 9 here shortly.
Does he know where Ganon and Zelda are?
Yes, you and him high five from the moment you came back on stream all the way into Gan's room. He just didn't have what he needed to fight him.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you were looking at my actual stream at all, but I did have my tracker up. I have my tracker up on my stream, so I was trying to, because I knew it was going to be difficult for you or anyone else that was trying to track what was going on. So I was like, all right, I'm going to keep track of all my stuff and show you what's going on, so that way when you pick me up here and there, you'll see oh, he's gotten this, or he's gotten this Triforce, so on and so forth. So I tried to throw you as much of a bone as I could, but again, I am very much hamstrung by a rather unfavorable ISP. We're gonna have a little chat tomorrow morning. Let's suffice it to say.
About the only thing you didn't give us was the White Sword location, but eventually Toasty found his way to it. He just didn't burn the right brush there in that dead woods as he was clearing it.
No, White Sword was on the coast.
White Sword Caves, excuse me.
Oh, White Sword Cave. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't remember where that was.
It was in the dead woods right next to the northwest-southwest area.
That's right.
Where you could kind of burn through in that one line. You could walk through it once you burn it.
Now that you mentioned it, I remember that. So,
because I had a whole bunch of spots X'd out in your tracker, I said, well, he's either checked Recorder Lake and it's underneath there, and it's going to take Toasty a while to find it, or it's X'd underneath one of the deadwood spots that Toasty perhaps hasn't checked yet.
Yeah.
Thankfully for him, he hadn't found the flute yet. He found it later, but found his way to that book.
Oh, and by the way, as an aside, just as a throwback to my to what happened to me last race, now that I've done and the race is over, my stream totally steady right now.
Yeah, you're not doing any movement on stream though, so that's a little bit
Well, the Triforce is blinking, or should be blinking.
That's about it, though.
That's about it.
Going on.
So, yeah. So again, to you and to everyone watching, I'm really sorry about the quality there. I was there's nothing I can do about it, at least in the short term. Which and that's fine. But the other thing was
not to cut you off here, but we do have Toasty Muffins fighting Ganon at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Going in with White Sword and the Silver Arrows, so he should be able to take him out. He's got 7 hearts on a red ring left. And gets the stun lock executed for the end of the Ganon fight. So down goes Ganon. And now the old man sprite is probably going to go save the old lady. Shows you how much I play as the old shopkeep guy, because I have no idea if that's the case or if it's Zelda or who
I'm
it is.
I'm pretty sure it is the old shopkeep lady, or the you know the lady that gives you the letter and the potions.
Yep. So what we saw from both of you really is that you're both picking up a lot of the combat and a lot of the staircase, block clipping, a lot of that stuff pretty quickly. So
Yeah.
it's good to see how runners come a long way from week 1 to week 3 of this tournament.
Yeah, and it's funny, speaking of block clipping, I don't know if you remember where the item room in 3 was, but it was in a diamond
infested diamond.
Yeah.
Yes.
I probably tried about, and I don't think you saw any of this, which is fine, but I probably tried about 6 or 7 times to block clip my way into the staircase, and I just kept getting bumped out. And eventually I was like, you know what? I have 8 bombs. I'm just going to bomb my way out of here. And I ended up just bombing and killing all the blue Wizrobes. And again, at that point, I knew this item is either going to be Silver's, Red Ring, or the Power Bracelet. So when I opened it up and I saw that it was a silver arrow, you have no idea how relieved it was. Because if it was Power Bracelet, I was going to rage. I was not going to be pleased about that at all whatsoever. So.
And looks like he's finally found the staircase that's right next to the Power Bracelet. Staircase. The shutter door will open. And we'll actually get to see what room Zelda is in. The old lady is in. Looks to be the Gliok room. And Toasty is finished with a official SRL time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, 16 seconds.
GG Toasty.
Wow. Wowzers.
Turned his audio back on. Let's see if we can get him out of there. Alright, looks like he will be joining us, so I'll give him just a few minutes here.
Okay.
And while we're waiting for him to
Hello?
pop in, oh, he is in the room.
Yeah, good game, Vanny.
Thank you very much.
Well
GG
played.
to you as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. I totally blew it by checking all 33 other rooms in level 7. Walked right past the bow.
Yeah. Fear was saying that you only checked the first hint shop. The second one was the one that told you where the bow was.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's just this one was like it started off well and then it turned into a bit of a comedy of errors there. Yeah, it was, and I kept goofing up. Yeah, like so I missed the bow, right? Walked right past it, one bomb ball away, and it was like I think I full cleared 9. I think I had every room in level 9 checked, and to find the last of the power bracelet was like the very last room, and then yeah, I should have saved and retried after doing that shop and doing the other one. Oh well,
yeah,
that's okay. That's how you learn, you know.
Yeah, that was the one thing that, as the commentator, I kind of thought, well, if he's gonna make the play and get out of 9 and go look for the hint shops,
Yeah,
and he continues instead of saves and doesn't see the hint, then that's probably where the biggest turn was.
yeah.
I would say had you seen the bow in 7 right off the bat and gotten lucky and bombed that way, then it would have been an extremely close race. I dare say Toasty would have been ahead of you, Vonnie.
Yeah.
I think had he gotten the bow hint, he would have been close on your tail, especially with your inability to finish with the connection issue.
Yeah. I mean, I know my official time is probably going to... I don't know what the official time was. Do I still have it up here even?
1:16:08.
Yeah, it kicked me out. My timer says 1:11:32, so, 4.5 minutes it took me before I could actually done from the time that I was actually done.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I literally, it's because what I was telling Fury. So when I finished, I tried to hop onto IRC on my phone, just using cell data, and I logged in and it said, "Oh, somebody's already using that nickname," so I couldn't even dot that way. So I basically just had to wait for my internet to come back, and then as soon as it did, just done. And as soon as I saw it register, I was like, "Oh, thank God."
well played, man. Yeah, that would have feels bad, man, if that's why you lost or anything.
Well,
like that,
I mean, and first of all, that wouldn't have been your fault. I would have had to just wear that one, and while that would have been very disheartening and frustrating, it's just, sometimes that's the way these things go.
Yeah,
but fortunately, that wasn't the case. I did get credit for the actual win.
Yeah, no, and well, Grazie, even 4 minutes faster. That's very well played.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thankfully, the finish times do not come into play until the very, very last tiebreaker. If there's 2 or 3 ties in front for your bracket positioning, that's the only time it will matter. So that 4 minutes probably won't do anything in the long grand scheme.
I'm sorry, say that about the tiebreaker again?
There is like a tiebreaker for seeding purposes once you get to 3 wins. And I think there's 2 other things or 3 other things in front of that time tiebreaker, so you'd have to tie in every other category for that to come into play.
Oh, jeez. So, okay. All right.
So the chance that it actually affects anything at all, almost 0.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, cool.
Well, yeah, Vanny, did you go to 7 before going to 9 and find that bow right away?
I actually had my 5th Triforce before I knew where 7 or 9 even was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I saved Death Mountain for last, which I normally don't do. I think I want to say there was an Any Road that was fairly close to it.
Yeah, there was
one right in the heart of Death Mountain. So normally when I see that, I'm like, okay, great, let me go ahead and do this. But I think when I found that Any Road, I only had like 1 bomb. So I was like, okay, I'll save this for later. And then once I started clearing out stuff in the Southwest, I found level 5, I found level 1, found level 3 on Candle Row, and I did all that stuff. And then at that point, I got my 5th Triforce out of 3. And then I was just like, all right, well, and at that point I had already gone to the hint shop, knew where the bow was. So I was like, all right, got to find 7 and 9. And so it was into Death Mountain I went, and that was pretty much the only place I had left to clear out. I had cleared out just about everything else on the world map, save for the power bracelet spots. But I did get a hint saying that no feat of strength would be required to save the kidnap. So I was like, all right, power bracelet not needed, so forget it. So that was good.
Yeah, but as I was saying when Von was in here right before you were finishing up, what I like most about this is I watched both of you race in week 1, and I've now watched both of you race in week 3. And what I like to see when I'm watching people play that are not as experienced or don't play in every nightly race is when they go from being kind of finicky with their block clips or finicky with some of their abilities to just hammering everything in, getting better with combat, getting better with kind of understanding the seed. And it's nothing you did wrong, really, that put you in 2nd place in this one. It's just the unfortunate circumstances of not finding a bomb hole. So whether or not you're 2 and 1 or 1 and 2, you're going to have a shot to beat some people here in this tournament, and you could very well make your way into the bracket round still.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I just need to win one of my next 2 races, and hopefully I can do that.
Wouldn't put it past either one of you to make it.
Oh, well, thank you.
I appreciate 1 win or 2.
Appreciate the kind words.
The only thing that you have to do, Vonnie, is probably avoid Saver or whoever else is in the 2-1 bracket.
You're right. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of tough and talented people in the 2-1 group. So I know at that point I am going to have my work cut out for me. And honestly, save for just banging my head against a wall, trying to get the item out of 3, and a couple other little things here and there, I actually felt really good about how I played. I guess I could have conceivably made that like a 105, just doing a couple things differently. But I mean, even still, for that seed, a 105. I mean, having to go in 7 to get an item, 105 but even a 111 that I got, I think it's pretty good. So I feel good. I mean, I still have improvement to do, but given how I performed, I'm happy with how I did.
I certainly think, I said already, both of you can make it. Really, just looking at who's won races and who's 1 and 2 and 2 and 1, there's going to be some hard races in both those, and some even closer matchups where people can come out matched up perfectly even, just be a really close, great race. So I'm looking forward to calling some more of those.
Yeah. Thanks, Fury.
Yeah, thank you very much for your efforts again, especially given the circumstances.
Yeah, thanks so
and
much.
Being so late. I know these aren't the most enviable time slots for most people. So the fact that you did that, and especially solo, it's cool, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
you guys
definitely.
have any more questions for me or anything that you need to ask about?
No, I think we said plenty. Again, GG to you, Toasty, and I wish you luck in your matchup next week.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good luck to you as well. And yeah, good game. I'd like to say, yeah, I felt I was playing very well too. It just a few errors. Some level 7 was sort of my fault, but kind of not. But then a couple of goofs, like not saving for the hint shop, blah blah blah. But yeah, I think it's fun getting feeling like I'm getting a little bit better every week. So that makes it a lot of fun. I'm having a good time. So
and one last thing that I will say, kind of to piggyback on what you mentioned before, Fury, is that for me, coming in, like, especially after you saw my first race, there was still a lot of learning that I had to do. I have been very pleasantly surprised by how helpful and supportive the Z1 community is, A, generally speaking, and B, to a complete nobody, a newcomer like me. I've learned a lot. I've got a lot of great tips, and it's been cool. It's been really heartwarming to be a part of this tournament so far, and it's not even close to over. So this is I got to say that this has been it's been a great experience to be doing this. It's been very awesome.
It's great to hear you've had some great experiences so far with the community.
Yeah.
Well, with that, let's go ahead and throw some shout-outs here. Shouts to Mr. Brownstone, who was pushing the buttons behind the scene, helping the bot through some of the difficulties we had. Thanks to Speed Gaming for once again hosting another Zelda 1 randomizer race. If you want to find the schedules, they will be on Speed Gaming right below the video feed for you. If it's on Randomania, it's the same thing. Go right below the video feed. You'll see it there. Better yet, you can follow them. If you follow them, you'll be able to see when they go live, and you'll be able to see any of the races you want to go and watch. With that, thanks to the runners. Give them a follow for all the hard work they put in on this seed. I'm Furious K. I tracked and commentated for you tonight, and with that, we'll see you next time.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Thanks again, Fury, and take care.